Okay, sorry, I had a technical glitch on here. We're gonna redo that.
No, no, I'm just
Welcome back,
downloading. I haven't.
everybody. Okay, sorry about that. Now we're live for real. My computer literally froze just as I went to start this stream after the channel intro. I apologize for that. Alright, this is Ruben's Crazy, and here I'm talking with Ice Mage 25.
Hey guys, what's going on?
All right, as you can tell, today we're going to be discussing Nintendo stuff, mainly the Nintendo Online Expansion Pass. I call it a price hike, but uh, I'm going to let you take the wheel since we actually didn't even plan this, and um, you know my friend here he had a lot to say about the matter, and I'll just let you take the wheel from here.
Hey guys, what's going on? So yeah, this is my first time joining with my buddy here. It's been a while. So yeah, thank you for letting me go on your channel to discuss this stuff.
Oh,
And
no problem.
yeah, so by the way, before we get started, I want to say thank you again, and also thank you for sending me this F-Zero shirt. If you can
Oh,
see it.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just noticed that was the shirt I sent you back in the summer. I'm glad you
Yeah, yeah,
like it,
yeah, yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, dude, it's awesome. So like, yeah, I love it. So I wanted to wear it just for this occasion because like we're gonna be talking about eventually this Nintendo expansion pass thing, and I thought this would be appropriate to wear it to show it up. So yeah. So so as you know, basically um, they just Nintendo recently announced their Nintendo Online Expansion Pack Plus, and you get like a handful of the Sega Genesis games and a handful of the N64 games. And basically, they've up priced, and eventually there are going to be more games released later on. But the price hike for it is basically $50 for a single membership, $80 for the family membership. And it's for me, I think it falls into either one of two things. I think people are not so much mad about the pricing as much as their online infrastructure because for me, I personally don't have Nintendo Switch Online, so I mainly just play offline, single player, adventure, role playing games, whatnot. So I don't really play multiplayer. That being said, from what I've been told, their online infrastructure is terrible. It's garbage,
Oh yes,
according to the people I see.
yes.
So, and I don't know. It's like when they first announced the Switch Online, I was like 20 bucks for a whole year. Like that's a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
But the infrastructure really sucks. Or
Basically,
so I've been told.
we got something very similar to that, so that we already had on the Wii U that was free, and now we're paying for it.
And that's unfortunate. But yeah. The one thing that I the one thing that just like for me personally, I think that they're trying to instead of like basically doing a remaster of all these games, they're like, you know what, we're just gonna put it on here and we're just gonna charge you for it. Which is like I guess it's like in their eyes I think it's okay, but the problem is that when you create an online service, it has to run well. Like you have PlayStation and Xbox, two two companies with online passes that are online systems that are phenomenal,
That's true.
phenomenal,
Yes,
you
I'll
know,
agree with you on that.
and just like how can I put this in a way that doesn't sound too harsh? I, you know, you go say something because I have to process what I'm going to try to say to this.
All right. Well, basically, Nintendo originally, back when PlayStation and Xbox first started, even doing online in general, they never threw their hat into the ring for anything to do for anything online. It was just offline, local player. That's it. That's what Nintendo was best known for. With the exception of like Fantasy Star Online for the GameCube, nothing from that era ever went online. So Nintendo prematurely trying to slowly play catch up here and try to learn from the competitors. I feel like they started copying Sony and Microsoft's homework and then just decided to do their own thing. And then recently with the regular base Nintendo Switch Online, that I was wonderful, like grand opening day, we got a good selection of games to pick from, but then everything else has been like drip fed to us, like from like a icicle on a ceiling. Drop one decently good game and drop two horrible games that we never even heard of. And it's just been garbage, honestly. I mean, I feel like I'm not paying $20 a month because I'm on the family plan. With currently with 5 other people, and we split a family membership in multiple directions and pay less. I feel that it's just going to be the same thing, and Nintendo just wants more money.
Yeah, more or less. The only problem is that again, their online infrastructure is not strong. So even if you were to play, the online multiplayer games they say they're gonna have is like Star Fox 64, Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, among many others that are eventually gonna come down the line. The problem is that okay, let's say we're gonna have online multiplayer with those games. How long will it last?
That's true.
How are the lobbies? Will the frame rates between the servers will hold up for at least one match?
That's
Can you
true.
last an entire 4 circuits before it crashes or someone boots out the game or the
That,
host ends?
that's
You know,
true. Like even right now, to even connect, I tried to connect to play with a friend with the Super Nintendo, and this was months ago. So I don't know. They probably didn't patch this out. Very likely not. It's Nintendo we're talking about here. As much as I love them, they don't know online very well. But back to the point, I tried to connect to a game, even though we're both online, both of our names are visible to each other. We couldn't connect online. And recently with Keyblader, I tried to connect with it the week we streamed Mario Kart Switch or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We couldn't connect for some odd reason, so we had to delay that, go back to the drawing board, figure some shit out, and then finally we were able to play this week. And I'm like, and they want more money for the same goddamn thing. I can understand if we're gonna pay more and they're gonna fix the servers, and simplify, online like PlayStation or Microsoft, where you just, find your friend on the list, invite to game, boom, done. With Nintendo, it's like always got to be 3 extra steps.
I mean, for crying out loud, you in order to enable voice chat, you have to you go through your phone.
Or Discord. It's like, oh, no, no, no. You guys know how. We don't want to handle that. You handle that.
And it's like, what's the point? What's the point of even having the online service if you have to go through so much hoops just to interact with people? I mean, if that's the case, it may as well be like just open up your laptop, open up a Discord, connect through there, and then just like play while it's happening. But the problem is that I think they're, don't get me wrong, their games, they have some, Nintendo has really great games, excuse me. They have really
I
good,
agree. I agree. They do have really great games.
because like, if you think about it, like, how many of the first party titles sell really well? Like you got Breath of the Wild, you have Splatoon, you have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, you have I don't know, what is it, Super Mario? What's the most recent Super Mario? Super Mario.
Odyssey.
Yeah, honestly, like they're all good. I mean, I have no doubt. The most recent one that they announced was uh what's it
Kirby.
called? Yeah, Kirby Forgotten Lands.
There
Like
you go.
that one, I no doubt is gonna be great.
I'm definitely
Like,
buying that one.
oh my God, dude! When I first saw that, and I saw like Kirby landing on the like just face first on into the sand with the beach. I was like, are they trying to like imitate Crash Bandicoot or something?
Yeah, I got Crash vibes out of that, especially after seeing playing the crash a little bit of the Crash Insane trilogy and seeing that fresh in my mind, and then seeing Kirby. I'm like, yeah, they copied and paid. They copied the homework again.
Yeah, because like I remember seeing that. I was like, when I first saw that trailer, I was trying to think. I was like, what? And this is just me. I felt it felt like Last of Us vibes because it was like so quiet. Like the first few seconds was like it was just super quiet, and he wakes up on the beach, and all of a sudden, it just starts walking, and like he starts having this open world. He can just smash and swallow everything. Sounds weird to say, but like just watch the trailer, you'll see it. Kirby Forgotten Lands. It's really fucking awesome. But like the, again, and it's like an Animal Crossing, which is like you're basically just going around creating your island and just doing stuff like Stardew Valley, for example. Like that's what
Yeah,
it is. And like people playing with that online, like they're visiting other people's islands and like going to see what they have, doing stuff with them. And
yeah,
like I don't know what like their servers are for that game, but like as far
not
as I
bad
know, people,
actually. Not bad. That's
yeah,
like that's something they got down to a T. It's this very non-noticeable lag. No, you cannot see the lag at all in Animal Crossing. It's as if you two are playing on the same screen.
like that's the only game that I know of where like there hasn't been lag or any type of crash of some sort. Like I haven't heard any complaints about internet connectivity with that game. Meanwhile, fucking
Smash Brothers.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, Super Mario Deluxe, no, Mario Kart Deluxe 8, like all these games. I don't even think Splatoon or ARMS had a problem multiplayer, but like
I wouldn't
these
know.
are like as far as I've heard. But like if you think about it, you have these first party titles, which are your flagship titles, and you can't even have a good established connection with these games. Like
Mm-mm.
how is this even remotely possible? Like how do you not have the infrastructure to build this? You have
Exactly.
you have all the money in the world, basically. Like,
The Disney,
it,
but for video games.
but it shouldn't be though. It shouldn't be. Like they make great content. They really do. And normally, I'm not a big Nintendo fan. I'm a PlayStation guy. You know this. You
Yes.
know. But like, it's just it boggles my mind that okay, you want to put this price out? Fine, go ahead. But the problem is that if you don't have the online service up to par to play all these games, then there's really no point in having it. You know?
Right.
I mean, I
Exactly.
saw a video. I was watching a few videos about like certain people's takes on it, and I was watching like when they were testing the internet connection. So like basically on the PlayStation, when you test internet connection, it gives you the ID, your the
The upload and
the
download speed.
yeah, download speed, guess estimate, whatnot. And I
Mm-hmm.
saw it, and you know what was the highest megabyte for it?
What?
80.
Wow.
Like
That's like
yeah, 80 megabytes. Okay. If I were to go on my PlayStation right now, it'd probably be up to 4 gigabytes, maybe five, seven if like there's no traffic whatsoever, or if I don't have anything connected to my devices. Like 80 megabytes. That's horrible. I'm not a tech guy, but that's horrible.
wow.
You can't, you can't like. Oh my God! It's like they have developers to make great games, but they don't have IT guys to make a better, um, I guess, online infrastructure like connection of some sort. Because you cannot like, how are you going to make a game that is multiplayer focused like Smash or Mario, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate or Mario Kart Deluxe, and not have great multiplayer, not work on it? Like, how does that work?
Exactly.
These games are meant to play with other people, either locally or online around the world. People
Exactly.
want to play online with other people around the world. Can you imagine if like you made an online only game, and there is one. It's called Tetris. Tetris 99.
Hmm.
The only way you can play it is if you have Nintendo Switch Online. But the problem is that if you, and as far as I know, I haven't heard any complaints about it. But the online infrastructure sucks. And if you're
Oh,
playing against 99 people on that kind of game, you need to have a solid internet connection that's running very well. And I'm sorry, but on 80 megabytes, maybe you can get away with it because you're like, probably the graphics are, probably the resolution is not that bad. So like they could probably do it on the cheap. That's why they had like 99 people facing off against each other. Like, okay, fine. But like, come on, man.
I agree with you. You're making a lot of good points, man, and I have no rebuttal to that. You know?
It's just like, and here's the thing: the bad is not just the pricing, but the online infrastructure. That's just the bad side of it. The good side of it, and I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Wait, you think there's a good side?" Yes, I think there is. But the thing is, though, the bad outweighs the good, whole like tenfold, because this expansion pack it requires that you use the N64 peripherals and the Sega Genesis peripheral to
Uh,
play these. At least that's what I've been told. I'm not
mm-mm.
sure if it's 100%.
No, actually, they releasing these limited edition, nice controllers as a way to make more money on people that really want this stuff. Like, you want a Nintendo 64 controller to play Nintendo 64 games, but you don't know that a Nintendo 64 USB adapter to Switch adapter exists out there. Well, here you go, $50. Thank you. And it's wireless and rechargeable. Before this whole thing, I actually this year I just purchased a modified Nintendo 64 controller with a GameCube stick in the middle, and I purchased a USB adapter. And then when I found out this was happening, I'm like, I don't need that piece of shit. I got my own piece of shit.
And that's what, so like, again, it's just like, how is their their business model, for lack of a better term, is very predatory. It's like, we're gonna figure out a way to make more money, to make you pay us more money for stuff that you already have. But not only that, we're gonna ask you to give us even more money, but not fix what needs to be done. You know what I mean? And like, come on, man. Like,
Well,
you have.
I did
I can
see a
only
silver
imagine.
lining. I did see one silver lining through all of this.
What's that?
All right. With the floodgates opening up with this new service, and it was revealed at the Animal Crossing Direct, and right now Animal Crossing just finished their last official free DLC update for any members. Anyone who has a Nintendo Switch would get that for free. Then they released a $24.99 DLC that you can buy separately or play the game by itself separately because they're actually releasing it almost like it's its own game. But if you were to have this new premium service, you would get $24.99 worth of content for free added to your game or to download that for free. So now I know Nintendo's track record, the way they been drip feeding old NES games and SNES games. I'm not expecting a lot of free paid DLC with this service, but I am hopeful that we'll get more than just, Happy House Academy, whatever the hell that second Animal Crossing game was for the 3DS. But we're basically getting that, but like a premature sequel using the engine from the existing Nintendo Switch game. So I'm hoping that we get some free paid DLC for the extra money. That's just my take on it.
Well, here's the thing. I don't have Animal Crossing. I've never played it. I've seen
Oh no,
videos.
forget Animal Crossing. I'm just talking about other games in the future. You know, like let's say a DLC for Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. Maybe we'll get that for free. You know, because we have the premium service, or we pay for it separately. You know that if that's the case, then you know if I have it's almost like having Amazon Prime in a way. Oh, I got Prime, I get it for free.
Yeah, but they don't have the Nintendo's service isn't like Xbox Game Pass or PlayStation Plus.
Oh, I know
It's not.
that.
And here's the thing. Nintendo has something like that, but the problem with it is that the games that they're offering you for free every month are old NES or SNES games.
Oh
They're
no,
not.
I know, I know. But what I'm talking about is like brand new content. It's starting with Animal Crossing. That you get you pay for the DLC and you continue to stay on your old membership, or if you were to upgrade to the new one, you get that for free, and you keep it. Similar
I
to
guess,
how
but
PlayStation Plus, you know, when you get something on PlayStation Plus on a sale, but then your sale expires, you still get to keep it because you paid some amount of money for it. I understand.
well,
I understand the free content that they lock away from you unless you have Plus enabled.
well, you know what? I hope it's what you believe it to be because I honestly have no idea if what you are telling me is going to come to fruition. But the fact that they locked a piece of content behind the expansion plus for Animal Crossing. In order to get it, you have to get the expansion pack plus. That
Or pay $24.99 for it separately.
oh, so you can get it separately.
You can, yes.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay,
not
okay.
locked.
I just
It's
want to
not.
be sure
It's
because
not.
like when they said like if you get this, you'll get this and this, and I was like, and you just have to pay this for the whole year, and I was like, you're locking a
Yeah,
piece of DLC behind a giant paywall,
yeah.
and it's like
But
what?
no, no. See what they did that was a big issue. They could have discussed this DLC for Animal Crossing in the Animal Crossing Direct if they would have did a Nintendo Direct Mini explaining the online pass to us and how it's going to work and how much it's going to cost prior to this Animal Crossing Direct. They didn't do that. They just
and,
threw it
and
in there.
and that's the problem. It's like you, you put it you put it in there, but without giving any explanation until after the fact, and then people are going to trash on it, and then it makes you look bad. And the problem is that they're already looking bad to begin with this deal because everyone. Here's the thing: no one's complaining about the games.
No.
No one's complaining about the games. Everyone's complaining about their service, their online infrastructure. That's it. If you could. Here's the thing. Here's the good that I see in this. Okay, and I've said this before. I'm not a multiplayer guy. I'm a single player guy. The games that they're offering for just, and I'm talking about just the N64, not even the Sega Genesis, because I grew up on Sega Genesis first before Nintendo stuff. The N64 games that they're currently having, a lot of those games are single player focused. So for me, the way I look at it, if I'm looking for more single player games to go back to play from my childhood, like Ocarina of Time, um, Kirby 64, Paper Mario, Banjo Kazooie, which oh my, oh man, that was that was my game. That was my. I cannot believe that they even have it. If they
Uh-huh.
announced Banjo Kazooie, I would lose my shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm getting it. Like I know the internet's gonna suck, but like, the online service is gonna suck, but I'm gonna play this because I grew up with those games. You know what
That's
I mean?
true. I know, but then originally people were assuming. I mean, and I was assuming too that this would only been like a $5-10 price hike, compared to what we were
That's what I
already
thought
getting.
too.
But this also. I mean, I don't endorse this. I only would do this if it was like for a Japanese game or a game that I already own. You know, what's to stop people really from just saying, okay, I'm going to download Project 64 and I'm going to play it on my computer. I don't need this service. You know?
Yeah, it's like a lot of the comment, like if you go to the comment section, oh my God, like every third or either every other comment or every third comment is like you just gave you just gave a reason for people to get emulators
That's true.
because they don't trust the online service. That's the problem. And
I,
here's the
pe-
thing, I'm sorry to interrupt. Let me just
no, no,
finish this point.
continue.
If they want to make this online service robust, they have to work on the infrastructure first before they even get this system out, this online plus package. If they're going to, because if if our online connection hinges on whether or not we can play these games because of the online connection, because then we're screwed. Like, there's no way you're going to be able to play any of these games. You can't play Win Back Over at Ops, or Shrek, whatever. You can't play Banjo Kazooie. You can't play Dr. Mario 64. You can't play Kirby. You can't play Yoshi. You can't play any of these games unless you have an online connection. You know what this reminds me of? This is reminding me, and I don't know if you know this, but like recently in the Super Smash Brothers Direct for that they had for they announced Sora, which
Oh
fine.
yeah, I
I've
wanted
been
to.
watching that.
That was going to be the next topic I wanted to talk about. But yeah, go ahead. Make your point.
Yeah. But here's the thing: it's going to connect to this
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
yeah. No, that's what I wanted to talk about next. But yeah, continue.
Yeah. So with to sidetrack a little, they while we were showing off the moves and move sets of Sora and like his specials and his smash and whatnot, eventually into the direct, you find out that they're releasing Kingdom Hearts 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3 all on the Switch. Okay? But here's the thing, it's not going to be a physical copy, it's going to be a
The cloud.
digital cloud gaming copy. Okay? Through the cloud service. This expansion pack plus it reminds me of a cloud gaming service.
Yeah, like
Like this,
Amazon
yeah.
and
But
PlayStation
here's the
Now.
problem. But here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, then there's a giant problem. Because as much as people love Kingdom Hearts, if it's running on a cloud system, the internet connection has to be phenomenal. It has to be huge. Because if I were to like take my Switch, get the online service, just a regular online service, and decided to download Kingdom Hearts and play it anywhere in the world, if I don't have a decent connection, the game shuts off. Any save I
or
have
it's
in there,
lag,
gone.
or it's
Just
lag.
utterly gone. And like that's horrible.
It is quite horrible. I was thinking about that too. I'm like, why couldn't they just release 1.5 and 2.5, as a physical copy? I could understand number 3 because the Switch can't run number 3. But at least give us the first, 1.5 and 2.5 on a physical disc, or chip. And then give us number 3 for, option to download for, the cloud. But then even so, it will without a stable connection. You make a great point there. You're gonna have a shitty game. It's either gonna not run at all or it's not gonna run well.
Here's another problem that I think that not a lot of people see is that the lag for these games is going to hinge on performance. So like if you're going towards like a boss battle in Kingdom
Mm-hmm.
Hearts and the enemies are super fast. You know this. I know this.
Yeah.
I've played the first
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom Hearts. You've played all of them.
Yep.
Like if you're not quick to dodge or whatnot, you better hope that your internet could fucking help you.
Yeah.
Like that's a problem. That's a serious problem because like imagine like the last boss you got to fight in what is it, the first one when you have to face I think Cloud and then you have to fight Sephiroth
Oh,
as a
forget
final
it.
boss.
Forget it.
Dude, like how there's no way you're gonna
reaction
Again,
reaction and what is it, reflexes aside, it doesn't matter if that connection isn't stable, you're fucked.
and that's the problem. And here's another problem that.
And you pay for it. It's not free.
Oh yeah, but here's another problem. Many of these N64 games, they've already created the suspend points. Basically, they did what they did. They did the same thing what they did with the NES Classic and the SNES Classic. Basically, if you play the game, you hit, I think, select or start. It's been a while since I played the classic. I have like one of the classics here in my room, but like basically, you hit, I think, like the select and start button at the same time, and then you hit the down button on the D-pad, and it saves you at that point to where you were playing. So it saves it into the system.
Oh, so it's like a save state, like in an emulator.
Yeah, but
Okay.
here's the thing. Um, if that's the case, how's it going to work on the N64 games? Because remember, back then they didn't have, um, there was no memory card. Certain games had, um, certain games had save points in the game, like to save. And I don't know if you could still do that in these N64 games that they're going to have in the expansion pack plus.
I mean,
You know what I
it
mean?
seems like it's running on the same engine that the other two are running on. So I've played a Super Nintendo game and an NES game on the Nintendo Switch, and you're able to do very similar options except without any button commands. You would actually hit the home button and not the home button, I'm sorry. The I forget it. It's one of the trigger buttons. You hit one of those, it opens a pop-up menu. It asks you if you want to save a state. You save the state, and I don't know if they call it save states, but it'll just reload a snapshot.
Yeah, but it'll take you back into that point when you were playing the game, you
Correct.
know?
Yes.
And from what I've seen from the expansion pack plus when they were announcing it, they basically have these things called suspend points, like they said. And so that is going to be, I think that's going to be a really pivotal one because this is now is like, oh, you can just save whenever, especially
Right.
for the single player game, which is fantastic. But in the games, you could also save as well. I don't know if it's going to be enabled or if it's going to affect the game overall. Like I
Right.
don't know if it's actually going to save it. But again, to go back to what I was saying before, if the online connection hinges on you playing these games, because it's for all we know, these games might not even be like the actual ports of like when they came out. Like these might be cloud games, cloud-based games.
That's true. They have the ROM somewhere all the way out in Japan on some, dinky ass server.
Yeah, and then later, so the only way you're gonna play it is through the cloud-based system, and then if it doesn't, and if your internet speed is not good, it's gonna slow.
And there's already
You
input
know,
lag on Super Nintendo and NES games.
like again, it's like how do you how can people like if you go to the YouTube uh channel right now, like their ratio to hell, like like they have 2 to 1 dislikes. Their dislike amount is like 2 to 1. Like last I saw was like 14,000 likes, 30, 31, 32,000 dislikes. Like that's crazy. A 1 to 2 ratio on that, that's insane.
Like right now, the only thing that's kind of numbing the price hike is only if you have the power of friendship and you have 8 people like standing by to pay only $10 a year for this service. And again, I mean, you have to band together to feel like you're not getting fucked in the ass by Shiggy.
Like
Come on.
and, and even people in the comments are like they're requoting Satoru Iwata's comment. Is like it's not verbatim, but it's like something to the fact that it's like I don't think it's a good idea to basically have people play a game and then make them pay it monthly. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
something to that. I can't remember the exact quote, but like again, it's like a part of me wants to get it because like it's basically the same price as like PlayStation or Xbox, but the only my only concern is that
It's not
this
worth
game
it.
might it really isn't, unfortunately. It
It's
really
not.
isn't. Like,
Not unless you,
well,
like I said, you have the power of friendship, then it's worth it, kinda, I guess. You pay what, $5 more than you've already been paying, and you got to add two more stooges to your account.
yeah, yeah. Like, at least that's what I can think of. Like, if they did something that was like, if they did something like what PlayStation did, was like basically like they grabbed a select number of games, like from PS1, PS2, PS3, and they somehow made it backwards compatible, where you could play all the games on the Switch.
Yeah.
I think people would be much more forgiving of that. But the problem is that their online service infrastructure is garbage. It's
Yeah.
garbage. You know?
I still remember from day one, the very first online game ever, Mario Kart DS. Back when I was a kid, I had my original fat DS, and I cut school and went to Starbucks. Pop open that sucker. There was a McDonald's right next door, so that was the official Nintendo hotspot area. I'm supposed to have the best connection there than at home or anywhere. I'm literally waiting like almost 2 minutes, hearing the engine rudders in my ear. The game didn't freeze. I'm waiting to connect with somebody to play with them.
Wait, that's the sound it made?
No, no, that's the engine, the Mario Kart engine is just like sitting there wait, and then Lukitu 2 minutes later.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
oh, wow! I'm like, I dropped my frappe. I'm like, I gotta get back in the game.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
I could be exaggerating, but it was a while. I'm like sitting there, just I have my headphones on, so I hear the engine. Like,
that's hilarious.
yeah,
For a game to load, you just hear a car engine instead. That is awesome. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty awesome. But like, yeah, again, I don't know. They have to come up with something quick because that is not a good model. Like, and here's the thing. I think they might have a chance. It's very slim. You might have a chance, but like if it's like again, if you are a single player fan, single player only person, this service might be good for you.
correct.
You might like it. But if you're doing the membership, this is terrible. Okay? This is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Just think about it. You have more than two, three, four, five consoles. How many is the family members? Like up to eight, I think.
Now it's 8. It was 6 before. Like, I'll be honest with you, only like 4 out of the 8 people actually cared about the bump up. The other 4 that I'm on my family plan only care that they're paying $10 less a year than the existing regular membership by being on the plan with us.
Like
So
that's just it's just again, it's insane. Like if you have the family membership, this is like a huge money waster. It
yeah,
really is.
unless
And,
you, yeah,
and it's like you said, unless you have the power of friendship, or you have a really, really good internet connection,
or
you're
you're
not gonna
rich.
get much out of it. You really aren't. Like it's hard for me to defend it because like I think Nintendo makes really great games. They're a good company, not great. They're good, but the problem is that if you don't fix your online support, if you don't come out like don't get me wrong, they they know how to get money out of people. They really do. Like when people keep buying the GameCube controllers the and then they connect it to their Switch and just like yeah, and then they buy the adapters for it just to play it. And it's like yeah, like I felt pretty victim to it too. Like I
Yeah.
bought the Yoshi GameCube version, but it was like the small little adapter for it, and like I had to get another cord in order to put it into yeah, it was my Switch, And but the thing was though, I didn't have the
Oh,
adapter.
I know you had the one for the Wii, right? The big fight pad with the little
Yeah,
Yoshi egg. So you had to buy a classic controller adapter to USB and then another adapter to make it work on the Switch.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
ultimately, I was like, I can't do it. Like, I just didn't. It was too much of a hassle for me. I was like, I can't do this. So I literally went to my local game shop. I think it was, yeah, GameStop, and just sold it back. Like, I couldn't do it. It was too
Well,
much.
there is a way if you had the what is it? The old fight pad, the big guys for what is it? The Wii, right? You would just need to have a Wii remote. Do you have a Wii remote at home or no?
No.
Okay, then this would be pointless. With a Wii remote, a May Flash adapter, all plugged into the Switch, the Wii remote synced up to the little USB dongle, you'd be able to play that with no problem.
Yeah.
I mess around with this stuff on my free time, so I figure this shit out.
Yeah, like here's the thing. Like I know you mess with it because when I saw you trying to play, I think it was an Xbox system, but you were playing it with like a GameCube controller.
Oh no
I was
no,
like, what?
I was trying to play Kingdom Hearts with a GameCube controller.
And I was like, wait a minute, Kingdom Hearts is only on PlayStation. Why are you playing with a GameCube controller? Like, what kind of Frankenstein bullshit are you on?
I made a whole diagram. What is it? This for the what will convert from like a GameCube press to a PlayStation button press. It was like more complicated than it needed to be.
Because like I remember just like you were like saying hooked GameCube to play Kingdom Hearts on PS2, and you were like A button, okay, X button, define, left stick, kind of wobbly, and like you it was like you were writing a spreadsheet of like every single little thing that was going wrong with it, what was going fine with it, and it was like I was like, what are you doing? And then there I find out years later, like, oh, you were like you were just like fucking around with these things and just trying to see if they could work. And I was like, I guess they work. Like you were testing
I
them.
I even I went even further and I reprogrammed before I knew Steam had a community that you can find button inputs that mirror console controls. I decided to make my own with this program called Joy 2 Key for Call of Duty Black Ops because I wanted to be able to play zombies with my fiance once we were long distance. So I went out of my way and I reprogrammed every key input to a joypad input. I have more control on Windows obviously than I did on console. So I went out of my way to reprogram the Call of Duty PC game to be as close to the PlayStation as possible.
I don't even have that kind of, I don't even have that thought process of trying to do that shit. But you know what? Hey, good for you, man. Because like, uh, that just seems like a fucking hassle.
It was, but it was worth it.
Yeah, but like, yeah, my final thoughts is like, if they don't fix their online structure, this expansion pack plus service is going to it's gonna hurt them bad. Like, do you remember a while back they came out with a Nintendo creator program for people on YouTube who wanted to stream their content
Yeah.
and try to monetize it? And like, the problem was that like YouTube took a 40% cut, but if you wanted to be a partner in Nintendo to upload Nintendo content, you had to be part of their Nintendo Creator Program, but they took a 70%. No, was it 70? No, I think it was 30. A 30% pay cut.
Either way, it
So
was a
like,
big cut.
yeah, and so like you only got 30% back out of all of it, and I was like, and people, no one signed up, so they're like, you know what? You just they immediately shut it down immediately because they were like striking down channels that were like uploading video videos of like gameplay footage of Nintendo games. I was like, really? Really? You're gonna be that strict on it? Like PlayStation and Xbox don't do that. If anything, is just free publicity.
Yeah,
Of
that was
like,
just you took
hey,
the words right out of my mouth. Like I could not process the words, but you took them right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yep,
yeah,
free
it's free
publicity.
publicity.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't you let people show your games off. Like that's insane to me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I get the whole business aspect of it. Like you basically have a service of your own that you're trying to play and show to other people that is gaining you money, but not the company that of the game that you're playing for from. You know what I mean? So I get that aspect. I get that. But the problem is that you are a giant company that is making millions, if not billions of dollars a year.
That's
And
true.
you're going after the people who are, for lack of a better word, basically taking your content and monetizing it without your consent, which I get. I get. You know, from a business standpoint, I get it. From a legal standpoint, I get it. But they're small fry. They're not pirating your games. They're not,
That's true. They're not distributing your game. They're not, you know,
yeah,
yeah.
illegally. You know what I mean?
They paid for that service to play
And
the
they're
game.
yeah, and they're showing it off, but doing it in an entertaining way to like,
You
because
could
like
play this too.
yeah, you could not only play, but you could have fun. You could do this, you could do that, and like that's what people want. You know, like when you see people play like PC games, you see all the crazy mods and all like crazy shit that they can do,
Yep,
that they create, and they put it out to the world like, hey, you could do this if you get this mod, or if you have this game, and like, and it's free publicity for
it
that,
is.
and
It
that
is.
incentivizes us, the consumer, to like, hey, you know what? I might actually go and get this console or this PC, download this mod or play this game, and do this, and then have all that fun for myself.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, it's like, and I get it from the legal and PR perspective, but it's like, is it really worth it? Not really, because
Yeah.
like they're not, you know. But yeah, my thoughts at the end of it is just it's it's gonna fall flat on their ass, and it's not it's not good. Again, if it's like a cloud based system that they're using to play these games, you better those games are fucked.
Well, from what I remember, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not connected to the internet, I think there's like a time limit because you do still physically download something to your Nintendo Switch, right? I I remember there was a point where I didn't have internet, my internet was out, and I was still kind of able to still play those games, but offline strictly. But I think there's like a timer, like after 7 days of inactivity of being online, you won't be able to connect to those games. But I could be wrong about that. I mean, I could
Honestly,
do a quick Google search. Hold on. Can
I
I?
mean, to be honest, that's probably the first time I've ever heard of it. If anything, I know there's I know there's mobile games that like if you don't play like if you don't play daily, you miss out on certain login awards that like gives you extra stuff, whether it's like money or energy credits or certain stuff like
Seven
that. Yeah,
days.
mobile game.
7 days. The Switch will
Okay.
know for 7 days after it's been, if it's not pinged to your Nintendo account online, it will just not like, let's say you go on a vacation and you don't connect to Wi-Fi on the hotel on your Switch, and let's say it's day 8, you'll have to connect to the Wi-Fi again to play your Super Nintendo games and NES games. So at least there, I just looked that up real quick. I swear I've read this somewhere that you can still play some of these games offline, but the online part is completely obviously shot because you can't connect to the internet.
Man, that's just man that shoots a that gets them shot in the foot even more. Like that's just man, what are they doing?
I don't know, man. I mean, they've always kind of like driven the car and swerving up and down the highway like this and somehow not hitting anything. They've hit something when they did the Virtual Boy. They hit something again when the Wii U came out. But, they always, hit the gas again and just kept driving.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good analogy. Not only to add to that analogy, but they keep driving and they don't fix the thing that's eventually going to get them broke. That's going to eventually
Exactly.
stall them. And
Like,
yeah,
here's another thing. I think it was a little bit of a pride thing with Nintendo to not ask Disney or just Pixar. No, actually, no, Pixar is owned by Disney or DreamWorks, let's say, to make that Mario movie that's coming out. They just decided we're gonna go Illumination. They're cheaper.
dude, can we just discuss for a moment how horrible that casting was? Oh my God. Dude,
It was bad.
Chris Pratt as Mario
I don't
is
see it. I'm sorry. I
the
don't.
funniest. The, okay, when he got cast as Mario, I was like, what?
Well, I was like, this is a joke.
Oh no, 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 it gets better. Like when they kept going and going and going and like naming like all the people who were cast, I was like, there's no way this is real. Like my suspension of disbelief went up top of a hundred story building and then crashed down. But here's the thing: the wind carried me and like basically hit me against another building and crashed me into another building. And I was basically zigzagging across buildings on a main road. Like
Wow.
Chris Pratt as Mario, Anya Taylor Joy as Peach, Jack Black as Bowser.
Charlie Day is Luigi.
And here's the thing: when they got to Charlie Day's Luigi, I was like, "Oh God, this is too perfect." But I couldn't wrap my head around it. And then like when I saw Jack Black as Bowser, I was like, "Yes, yes!
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this movie now." Because like that's all, like, and you cast fucking what's his name, Keegan Michael Key as Toad. Really? You're gonna make the black guy play the servant to the white girl? Are you fucking insane?
It must be because his hat looks or head looks like a Rasta something, whatever you want to call it.
Oh my God.
Like, sure, there you
It's so
go.
fucked up, dude. It's so fucked up. And then like they decided to put who else? Who else? They got Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong, which I could probably see that. They have I don't even know who Kamek is. But they have oh man, it's just the casting for this movie. I can't wait to see a trailer. I need to see a trailer.
I need to
Because
see a
like
trailer too because I'm like, it was a lot to just throw that there in the middle of the direct. I'm like, I was not expecting that.
I'll tell you this right now. And tell me if you would agree with me. Okay, because like you know how much I'm a as much as I love games, I also love movies.
Right.
If you were to take this cast, replace it with Mario. Well, to go back to the Mario movie, I'm so glad that Charles Martinet is in this movie. I really am because like this guy's voiced Mario for so many years, and they decided to give him like a bunch of cameo voices in the movie. So I think that's fantastic. That's great. Like they're respecting the guy who's basically made them a lot of money over the years with his voice. So and not only that, Japan is like they're very honorable people. So the fact that they have had him doing not voices just for the games, but they're gonna have him do like multiple voice cameos in the anime movie. I think it's fantastic. It's great. But here, let me tell you this: if we were to take Charles Martinet aside and we just looked at the main cast that are playing, okay, you tell me if this would be perfect. This is what I was thinking. I was like, when I saw the cast, I was like, this is horrible. Like this is absolute bullshit.
Other than Jack Black, yeah, it is
Oh my
bullshit.
God, dude. He's the only one I'm excited to see. Everyone else is like, I can't take you guys serious. I'm sorry. Like, look at all. Go on YouTube. Look up reaction videos to Mario, the Mario movie casting. you are going to see 9 times out of 10, everyone is laughing their ass off like, oh my God. All right. I've seen like maybe one reaction video where like it was a couple and like they were like so happy that everyone was like, oh, the casting is perfect. I was like, really?
I've seen this one
Really?
guy called what's his name, the video game Donkey. He was like going ham on this and making his own what is it, bullshit casting to like Birdo as Whoopi Goldberg and all that. I don't know how he did the editing.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
Or Whoopi
Oh my
Goldberg
God.
as Birdo. I'm sorry, but you get what I mean. It was just
All
nuts.
right. No, no, agreed. But like you, okay, tell me about this, okay? Now let's exclude Charles Martinet and just look at this cast: Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor-Joy, Jack Black, Keegan-Michael Key. There's probably Charlie Day. If you were to tell me we've assembled this cast for an anime movie and told me it was for Mario, I would laugh in your face, and I did, rightfully so, because no one's picturing this.
I was laughing my ass off, and when I was hearing this casting call, I was like, "What?" And then when I
Dude,
saw Charlie Day, I laughed. I saw Jack Black, I lost it.
dude, I was in tears how hard I was laughing. But now here's the thing: if you were to replace this, and you tell me if this is a really good idea, because I think it is, replace the voice of the voice act the voices for these actors instead of Mario. Do you think? And I think this would work. Instead of a Mario movie, they made an animated Legend of Zelda movie with these characters,
Oh,
with these actors.
wait, with these actors, maybe
Yes,
yes, I would see that more for a Legend of Zelda cast. Yes,
like Chris Pratt as Link, Anya
I see it.
Taylor-Joy,
Zelda,
Zelda, like Charlie Day. You know who he could play as? He could play
Tingle.
as Mr. Tingle.
Yeah, yeah, Tingle.
Dude, it would fit.
It would
It would
fit a
fit.
lot more. I agree. When Jack mentioned
Ganondorf as like
Sir Ian McKellen.
oh no. The guy who's playing Kamek in the Mario movie is played by Kevin Michael Richardson. He's the one who's done the voice of Shredder. He could do the voice of Ganondorf. Like
Okay, sure.
he has a deep, dark voice. Like you see some of his work, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Okay, so we'll
But
give him Ganon.
yeah, like he could definitely pull it off. Jack Black will probably be like one of the Gerudo people,
Or or
like the
or,
rock
or
people.
oh, the Gorons.
Yeah, the Gorons. I was about to say Gerudo. I don't know
That yeah,
why. But like, yeah, like I think it would be one of the like I think it would be a much better casting. Like if this was a animated Legend of Zelda movie, that cast would like everyone would have loved it. Everyone, because like you could see it in some of the characters. You know,
that's
like
true.
in the Mario movie, it's like it's hard to picture. Like the only two characters that I think are going to fit perfectly, maybe three,
Hmm.
is like Keegan Michael Key's Toad, Charlie Day Luigi, and Jack Black as Bowser.
That's it.
Like that's it. Like Anya Taylor Joy as Peach, maybe, but like
Just because she's another blonde.
true. But here's the thing: it's like I don't think it's the fact that she's a blonde. I think it's the fact that you can believe that she can probably bring her voice up to like a heightened pitch to the
Hmm.
point where she could kind of sound like Peach in the other video games. You know,
Then why not
like
Leslie Swan or the other voice actress for Peach? I mean, it's this is all thanks. I mean, Robin Williams didn't want this to happen, but Disney made it happen by oversaturating Robin Williams way back in the 90s. Now every movie company wants to have an A-list celebrity for an animated feature.
well, unfortunately, the only way in Hollywood for at least in Hollywood, this is what it is. The reason why they cast these A-list stars for these video game movies is that because they drive attention. It's like if someone famous is that was from a live action film does an anime movie based off of a beloved video game, people want to go and see them. You know,
Well,
follow the
yeah.
actor, follow the cash. Like that's the whole point.
That's
But
exactly what happened with Robin Williams. You know, he wanted everything to be, he wanted as little publicity as possible. He didn't want the genie to overshadow Aladdin, but unfortunately, his performance and Disney doing what they did just led it to be to what it happened. Whatever happened, and now every industry wants to do it. It's a staple in the industry.
yeah, the only problem is that when you're doing a video game movie, you have to understand that your video game audience is not the same as your movie audience.
Exactly.
I mean, the only video game franchise that I know of that you could put from video game to live action, and it would just, regardless, you could put any A-list actor, B-list, C-list, whatever, is Mortal Kombat, really.
Yeah,
Like, there's only a handful. You know what I mean?
that's true.
Like the Lara Croft movie, like when that first came out with Angelina Jolie, it was an A-list actress playing as a Brit, and people loved it. Like I think they made a sequel for it, and then many years later, they decided to reboot it with this other woman who I think is like Danish, I believe. I can't remember her name, but like,
But I think that was going by the Square, making a remake retelling of the Square Enix reboot of Lara Croft, I believe.
yeah, yeah,
So
because
it was a movie adaptation of a reboot, which worked.
yeah, it worked, because like they're currently making the sequel as we speak.
And right now,
But
and Tom Holland right now is making an Uncharted movie, which I
that
still
one,
don't. I still don't see him as Nathan Drake, but
me neither. But the excuse that they're going with is that they're going to use him as to play a young Nathan Drake.
true.
Because if they start him young, and then they could eventually age him up, because remember, he's right now Spider-Man.
That's
Like
true.
this guy's eventually going to, like, I don't know how old is he, like maybe 18, 19, 20? Like he's still young.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're going to use him to play Spider-Man for however long they can hold on to him. The
True.
problem is that with him as Spider-Man, eventually he's no longer going to be a kid. He's going to be a grown man, And I don't know how long I don't know how long Sony's going to have him as Spider-Man, because let's face it, I don't think Sony's going to pay him a ton of money. Like, for a lot of people that don't know, like, the longer you stay on a franchise, the more money that these actors and talent agents are going to demand from the studios.
That's
You
true.
know, I mean, and for Sony, it's like, well, you kind of did your thing, and now we're going to let you go, and we wish you the best, but we're not going to pay you like $20 million a movie to be with us.
That's true.
Which, if they only paid me $20 million a movie, I was like, sign me up. you know. But yeah, and like, so again, I think, and another reason I think they went with Tom Holland as young Drake is because they see him getting older and they want to grow this franchise to make more movies with him, because they love him as Spider-Man. They're like, you know what? Why don't we have him as young Drake, so that eventually we can make more sequels with that? At least what I'm thinking from this perspective is that if he gets older, we could have him change. We could have his voice change. He's probably gonna be in long standing. He probably has a really good relationship with Sony that we don't know about. That's why he's cast as on Nathan Drake.
Well, I know he invited Nolan North. What is it? To where they were filming the scenes for Uncharted, and he got to actually see and hang out with Nolan North, because Tom Holland is a fan of these games. So that even makes it even better that he's gonna give a really good performance. The fact that he's an actor and a fan,
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's a good thing too. Like, for me, if Nolan North or any of the other cast members, the cast members of like the games aren't in the movie, I feel like it would be a huge travesty. Because like, how can you have the Uncharted series? How can you make these movies and not have Nolan North in it? You know,
Well, I
I
mean,
mean,
Nolan's
he was
pretty
a,
old now.
well, yeah, but like, how can you not have him in it as like a cameo appearance?
You never know. I mean, he didn't really specify, exactly what he did there with Tom Holland. Tom Holland could have said, had a word and say, "Hey, we got to have a cameo for the man who is Nathan Drake." We don't know.
I hope
I hope so too.
because like again, like it would suck that like you make this huge popular gaming franchise turn into a live action movie and you don't have a main key actor of that franchise in this movie to like just show up in a scene and it could be something off-putting. It doesn't even matter because like I don't know if you ever saw the rebooted Power Rangers movie.
No, I did not.
Okay, so uh, for those who haven't seen it, spoilers, get ready for this. The at the end of the movie, all the Power Rangers get together, they form the Megazord, and they fight Goldar. And at the end, when they won, of course, you see at the end, you see Tommy and Kimberly, the Green Ranger and the Pink Ranger, or basically Jason David Frank and Amy Jo Johnson. Amy, yeah, is it Jay Johnson, Joe Johnson? I'm not sure. Amy from who played the original Green Ranger and the Pink Ranger, and they had a cameo at the end of the film. And when people saw that, and when I saw that in theaters, everyone just like lost their minds, you know. And like I did too, because like I was a huge Power Ranger fan growing up, and so like you just see them in a quick cameo, like they grab their phone, they take a picture of like the Megazord fighting Goldar, like they beat the living shit out, you know.
Wow.
And it's so awesome. I literally went and bought the DVD because that's how much I loved it. And unfortunately, I don't know if there's going to be a sequel to it because it was so good. But the problem is that in order to appreciate the Power Rangers movie, you had to have been a fan of it since you were a child.
That's true.
This thing came out in the early 90s, you know? And all they did was took the Japanese version, brought it to the States, and then they decided like half the scenes they were going to be dressed up, and the other half they just go in a recording studio, and just do audio for the characters. Like they just dubbed over the Japanese stuff.
Yep.
You
And then
know?
and then they had like a set that was just basically Saved by the Bell High School here and there sets.
Yeah, but
And it
it
worked.
worked. It worked because people were tuning in. Kids were watching this.
They can
You
put
know,
themselves to the characters. What's your favorite color? Are you a boy? Are you a girl? Boom, 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 boom.
like what's your favorite? Dinosaur.
That too.
Like for me personally, I loved David Yost. I believe his name is the actor's name. David Yost's character who played Billy, I believe. He
Hmm.
played the Blue Ranger. Blue is my favorite color, and also what on top of that, my favorite dinosaur is the Triceratops. So you have a blue Triceratops Power Ranger. You know, I mean, like that. Like, how can you not love that as a fan?
Yeah. I mean,
You know what I mean?
The Blue Ranger was my favorite too.
Yeah, like my brother watched Power Rangers with me. His favorite color was red. His favorite dinosaur was the T Rex.
So it fit.
It fit, like that. That's how it was for us growing up. Like we would just we would like just reenact Power Rangers. We would just fight
Yeah.
between that and Mortal Kombat because like we had the Sega Genesis back then for that. But like yeah, like you have to be a fan. Like for a gaming, like I said before, gaming fans are not the same as movie fans. Movie fans are
Yeah.
like they just go into a theater and they just see something to escape from their daily lives. Gaming fans, they play to escape, but they do it for hours on end.
That's true.
You
It's
know, and if you're going to a movie,
hmm
you're going to see a movie for like a couple of hours, but then you're going to leave.
That's true. I mean, unless you're watching The Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or
Oh my God!
something that requires
What?
your attention.
Yeah, watch the Lord of the Rings series extended editions.
I have
You'll
those.
really get lost in
I still have the what is it? The original what is it? Red box, blue box, green box extended editions from way back in the day.
Oh, dude. I wonder how much that would go for if you were to sell that.
Probably not a lot. I mean, I bought them at GameStop. Well, when GameStop used to sell like, DVDs, I'm like, oh, 7.99, 5.99, 4.99.
I
Sold.
miss that, dude. I
Yeah,
miss that so much.
but you know what? People, what is it? Took too much advantage of the service. They would, oh, my Mulan DVD broke. I'm going to GameStop and buying one and exchanging it. So it's crazy. What was I gonna say? Well, I mean, we got a little bit off topic, but it was nice to talk about movies. I mean, we went from a Nintendo membership to what is it?
Nintendo membership to movie casting.
To movie casting, to the love of Power Rangers
Yeah,
and movies in general, and a little bit of
yeah,
Uncharted. But
yeah. So, but I wanted to go back to and I can't believe I remember this because that was such a heated topic discussion for um expansion pack plus. But like we can go to your topic of what was it about the Kingdom Hearts?
oh yeah, the Super Smash Brothers reveal.
Yeah. So like, what are your thoughts on it?
I was half expecting it, only because I have looked online. I've seen people leaking certain information, but I never trust leakers. I always like to see it from its original source. There was because somebody put a leak saying that Nintendo acquired the rights for some Disney music back in July, and I'm like, okay, it could be for anything. Maybe they're gonna put a Disney character that was also a very strong video game character, but I couldn't think of anybody else but Sora. But a lot of people were already saying Sora's not gonna be in Smash, blah blah blah. Disney owns him. That's Disney's bitch. You ain't getting that. But then to see the reveal, I was like mind blown. I was at work with spotty internet watching Sora come out of the keyhole, and I was like, and even before that, I was like, Mario touched the Keyblade just like he did in that April Fool's thing back in 2008, where he was holding his own Keyblade. So I was like, is Mario a Keyblade master now? Like, so many things were going through my head. I actually have a video on that. It's about a 10-minute discussion about that on my YouTube channel. But I was just excited that Sora's in Smash. I'm like waiting to download him. I think he comes out tomorrow or Monday. It was just,
Yeah.
a relief. It's like it could have been because I was very disappointed with the fighters that came out, other than like Sephiroth and who else? Forget who.
Well, he was already.
He was from the Wii U. He was like free DLC with the super expanded port of Super Smash Brothers for Wii U for Switch, which is Super Smash Ultimate. See Super Smash Brothers Wii U Ultimate. That's basically what it is.
Can you imagine the expansion pack? Let's go back a little bit. Can you imagine the expansion pack plus they just released the Super Smash Bros. The first one on that thing, and just like, oh, we gotta test the internet connection with that bitch. That would
Yeah,
be fucking hilarious.
and
That would,
touching on the internet connection thing. Back earlier this spring, there was supposed to be a Super Smash Brothers Melee tournament, but because COVID, is COVID and all that, there wasn't going to be a live tournament. But fans and very good computer people were able to actually make a very good server to play Super Smash Brothers Melee online without any lag. Nintendo shut that down.
really?
Yes.
Oh my god!
So
Why?
instead of hiring these people and saying fix our problem, they just squashed that and said no. But I'm like, you're not making any money off Super Smash Brothers Melee anymore.
Like, I'm sorry. Is Nintendo that petty?
I guess so.
Really?
Yeah,
Like, that's insane to me.
they shut
Like, you
down an
have
entire tournament because
a
yeah,
tournament.
for a game from 2003 or 2001.
Jesus Christ! Like, again, I don't know why. I know
Like
there's
I
such like
said, on the highway, swerving up and down the lines.
I know there's Nintendo fanboys. I know there is that will are willing to
Defend
do
them.
anything to just to have fun with Nintendo. In many of them, some of them, I don't know about all, but like there are some that like they are willing to do whatever it takes just for people to have a good time with Nintendo products. And are they afraid that like if they do it, like it feels like they have to like compensate them for their time, even though they're saying I'll do it for free? Like I guess the honor system in Japan is like I don't know much about it, but like it just seems petty. Like
It does.
you have people who are willing to devote their time and resources to help a bunch of people have a tournament to have
And
fun, and it's like you turned that down. Like how did? Oh my god! And this is one of the reasons why I was like, do you like Nintendo? I'm like, it's fine, but like I don't really consider Nintendo to be like a top echelon. Like they're there, but like you look at PlayStation, you look at Xbox. Like I'm not even a big Xbox fan. I still have respect for them.
I
I
do
have
too.
respect for
I don't
them.
have. I do not own a single Xbox uh, object or besides one controller I have for my PC or any systems. Not
Me
that are
neither.
mine.
I have a Windows laptop that I haven't even touched in a while. I still have that. Like, and I don't even have an Xbox. Like that's it. But like their services are really good.
Yeah,
You know. Preferably, I like PlayStation better, but again, I'm like biased because I play. They have games that I like, that I want to play. Single player type games. Nintendo has single player type games, but their online service fucking sucks.
that's true. Like I actually do like PlayStation single title games. I actually was going to play for the first time the Star Wars game that came out. I think it was like the Fallen Jedi or something like that.
Yeah, Fallen Order.
There you go, Fallen Order. There you go. I
Yeah,
just
I have
I
that game. I have that game. I haven't even touched it
I
because
was
like I
just
have
about to touch it.
like my back catalog is my back catalog is so like out there. Like I haven't even put it on my system. Like there's no memory on it. There's no file on it. No nothing. Like I literally have like every time a new game comes out for PlayStation Plus every month, I download at least one of them if I like it, and I just save it there
Yeah,
until like I feel like I want to play it again.
I agree. I only download the games that I like. I don't just tick off everything because I'm like, oh, it's free, it's free, it's free, just to own the license. I mean, because then that's just gonna blow up my library, and then when I'm actually looking for shit, I'm not gonna find it. I did that
Yeah.
with the PlayStation 3. My hard drive just fried on that, and I had to install a 1 terabyte hard drive, a brand new one, basically, into my PS3 and re-download everything. It took me 2 days to download my whole catalog.
Holy shit, 2 fucking days.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know who that reminds me of? Like one of our friends who has like a really bad internet connection and it took him like 4 days to download one game. I was like, are you kidding me?
That's nuts.
Yeah. I was like, that's insane. Yeah, but yeah, like well, sorry to get off topic, but
No, no, no,
yeah,
we're
go
good.
back. Okay. Because like I would to be honest, like I haven't paid attention to Smash as much as like any Nintendo fan
Right.
or Super Smash Bros. Fan. Because like, okay, it's great, it's fine. Like I have Amiibos, I have the console, I don't have the game, I don't have any of the DLC characters, but like I have them because like I love this stuff. But yeah, it's just like, and here's the thing. To go back to your point, I don't think Sora is a Disney character.
He
I think
kind
it's
of
Square
is.
Enix.
He's actually owned by Disney.
Really?
Yeah, it's like he's owned by both. He's owned by both. Like he's Disney and he's Square Enix. But Disney has the final say because obviously you have a big franchise like this, and then you have like a slightly big fish from Japan over here that also collaborated with the other big fish to make a wonderful big game. So it's both.
Because like I always associated Sora with Square Enix rather than
I
with
I always did too, but I when I found out it was Disney who had the final say, and I've read the articles and they're saying Disney doesn't want it, I'm like, wow, Disney has that much control. Like if you look at the reveal for Sora, Goofy and Donald are completely absent. Like they're not even mentioned.
well, it makes sense because like the only thing that's even remotely Disney that you could see in there is just the little key chain
Yep.
at the end of the Keyblade. That's
Yep.
it.
That's it. That's all the mouse gave. But
That and
because
the
yep.
the what's it called? The Timeless River skin.
True, but it's just a monochrome Sora. It's not really, showing like Mickey Mouse and other characters.
But it's the skin though.
It
Like
is.
that's
It is.
because like you have the skins of the Wisdom form, the Valor form, one,
You
two,
have
and three skin.
you got to have those.
Well, yeah, but like they're not very Disney-esque. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like you don't have the Halloween Town, you don't have the mermaid
I was I
outfit.
was I was hoping for the Halloween Town one, but
Dude, I've seen so many reaction videos like, oh man, there's like no Halloween Town outfit because like it's like the coolest one.
it
So
is.
like it didn't have it, so I was like, oh,
Don't worry.
bullshit.
I'll give this one guy on YouTube who does 1 minute Smash mods. You'll see a Halloween Town Sora by like Halloween.
Hmm. Yeah. You know what's a really interesting thing, and I don't know why they didn't put this in the game. Um, doesn't I know Cloud is in the Kingdom Hearts game, but didn't he have his own outfit in the Kingdom Hearts game? Like when you first
Yeah.
meet him,
He
he
had
had
yeah.
like a red sash, and like his Buster Sword was like covered up with like
Yeah.
wrapping.
They didn't update Cloud and Sephiroth to have their Kingdom Hearts designs.
Because like I know they have like the Final Fantasy version and the Advent Children outfits, but
Right.
like that was it.
Well,
I
yeah,
was like, really?
because look, when Cloud was already in the game, he was there sent for paid DLC for the Wii U. Then he came back for the Switch. Then when Sephiroth came, they updated Cloud, so that Square Enix with Square Enix. They updated Cloud so he had a special final finisher, I think, for his base form, and then a different one for his alt costume. But they did nothing for Cloud and Sephiroth when Sora came in because Sora is mainly a Disney character. So they that's and I've heard the reason why Cloud and Sephiroth didn't pick up hooked on phonics and learned English is because the voice actors for the American ones, at least for Cloud and Sephiroth, are locked by contract to only voice for Final Fantasy.
Ah, okay. Yeah, see, I
So
don't know. I don't know the details of the contracts of like the actors of like who can voice them and whatnot.
I look
I just
into the
know
shit.
that. Mm.
Because I was like, why now all out of nowhere? Cloud learned how to speak English, in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, when every other game before that it was fucking Japanese all the way through.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Also, there was another thing, and I don't know if you noticed this detail. Well, when did Sephiroth get his one wing?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not sure if that's I actually never played the original FF7. I only just purchased the remake, and I don't even think you get to that point in that game.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, the first and maybe someone who like at the end of this uh, podcast we're doing or video whatever we're doing, maybe they could tell us there. I think the first time we ever see the one wing that he like pops out on the side, I think that was from the first Kingdom Hearts game.
I think so too, but I could swear that that's also a Final Fantasy thing.
Because like I do remember seeing it in the movie in Advent Children,
Right.
but I don't know. And I remember seeing it in the Kingdom Hearts game, but I don't remember if um if it came first on the Kingdom Hearts game or if it came first in the Advent Children movie.
I mean,
So
I think Advent Children came first. I'm not sure. It was so long ago.
because because I swear, and the only reason why I know this is because I got up to, because like I played the first Kingdom Hearts game, but oh my God, the control interface was just like, it was horrible. Like I
Yeah.
just couldn't play it. I literally got to the second to last boss on the Hollow Bastion level, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. These controls are driving me nuts.
I know, and they had the C stick. I mean, not the C stick, the camera stick right there, and they mapped it to the shoulder buttons. I'm like, that was the worst part for me. Like for Kingdom Hearts 1.
I just couldn't do it. Like, and I remember Keyblader telling me, he's like, why didn't you finish it? Why didn't you finish it? I was like, cause dude, because the controls are driving me up a wall. And
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I can't do this.
I
And the
told
crazy part,
I explained the same thing to him. I said if a game has horrible controls, I can't finish it no matter how many times. It's like you're telling me to put the square block through the circle. It's not going to happen for me.
and like what I did was like, I knew that, and I knew who the bosses were, but like I didn't face them yet because like I went back to like previous worlds, and what I did was I started to backtrack to the previous worlds to the secret hidden places that you had to go through, and the only way you can get them was like if you had certain types of
Torn
abilities.
pages. Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, tour pages as well, but like there were certain places that had like secret locations, and the only way you can get them is if you had like special commands. Like one of them was like um, in order to get in order to get to a certain place, like you have to learn the ability of the like for Sora and um, Donald Duck and Goofy, like you'd have to
Oh,
have them
the
like
Trinities. I think you have to. You
yeah,
get the
they're
Trinities.
like
Yeah.
Trinity commands, I guess what they were called was like one like there was one like they both had to all ram each other into a wall in order to break it, or like they had to climb each other, like they were just like Sora and Goofy, then Donald, and like Donald would be like the last one, and he would like grab the item that was in this unreachable place that you couldn't get to, even if you double jumped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and they would have like this little three heart icon
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. Yeah. The Trinity symbols. I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. Like you had to get a certain type of move set in order to get to that area. You know,
And
and
it's
I
and
know
it's
it
and
was
it's and it sucked when you had the guest character like Tarzan or Aladdin, and you were right in front of the Trinity, and because that's not Goofus or Donald, I'm calling him Goofus. You have to go all the way back to the save point, switch to Goofy, switch to Donald, make sure you have the original tree, and then you can do the Trinity.
yeah. That was one of the most annoying ones because like as soon as you went to that world, like you had the main one by default, and you had to switch it out manually in order for it to work. And I was like, really?
Now imagine that with new players trying to do that with the bogus server that Nintendo has. New
Oh,
players.
oh my God. I just, oh man. I would need to take like a few aspirins just to get rid of that headache.
And I just recently streamed Kingdom Hearts 1.5 for the PlayStation 4. I had my frustrations with that, and that's like on a hard drive. You know, they fixed some of the problems. They added the camera stick, with, the control stick. It was more playable, but I don't even want to imagine doing that again on the Nintendo Switch. In fact, I am definitely not purchasing that for the Nintendo Switch at all because I already have all the games for PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. And that's it. I don't need any more. I'd only open the
Yeah.
door, I would actually tell people, if you have a good PC already, download it for PC. The Kingdom Hearts was released for PC. If you already have an existing PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, download it for the PlayStation 4 or 5. And then you got the whole entire story right there.
Yeah. I'm, to be honest, I'm amazed people are still replaying those games, even though those controls were just like, oh my God, I've never played a game with horrible controls. And don't get me wrong, this is not to shit on Kingdom Hearts fans. Trust me, Kingdom Hearts fans are they're like religious fervor to them. Like they love this stuff, and who doesn't? Like you have basically Final Fantasy characters going into Disney and worlds and Pixar worlds, and like it's like a match made in heaven, I guess. Because like
Yeah.
it was because like who's the creator? Is it Nomura?
Nomura, yeah.
Yeah, like he creates what is essentially a Final Fantasy character and decides, you know what, we're going to take this character and we're going to make him go into all these animated worlds and like you're going to do missions with them and you're going to help retake that world from the Heartless and like
Mm-hmm.
use this Keyblade to block them from ever coming into these worlds and corrupting it. Like it's genius, really.
And I think his mission was also to be as good as Super Mario. And for me, being a diehard Super Mario fan, it's only, it's like I'm a moth to the flame to a game like Kingdom Hearts. When I played Kingdom Hearts, I saw Mario, Zelda, and even a little bit of Sonic Adventure like all mixed in there when I was playing that game for the first time. And I felt that again playing it in 2021.
Oh wow, man. Oh, man. I don't know if I can go back to Kingdom Hearts. Like my memory of it is just it was horrible. It really was.
If
Don't get me
anything,
wrong. Like
if anything, I would say try to, if you have a PlayStation 3, go to GameStop, see if they still have 1.5 available for the PS3. Play it on there. If you don't like it then you definitely won't like it on the PS4 because it's literally the same game.
again, like I don't even know if I have a dedicated time for it. Like
Again, yeah, you're backlogged as it is.
I still have games I haven't beaten on my PS3 sitting here, and it's catching dust.
Me too. I am the same way. I purposely, when I moved to my new location, I brought mostly my back catalog so I can start playing that. So I didn't have a whole bunch of old games to cherry pick from.
Oh man. No, but you know what? All in all, I'm glad Super Smash Brothers fans got Sora because
Yeah.
people have been wanting that character for years. Like the only other character that I know of in recent memory that people wanted a lot was Banjo-Kazooie.
And they got him.
Yeah, that one blew my mind. I was like, you got the bird and the bear back. And I remember just seeing just their movesets. Just their
Yeah.
movesets. I was like, God, that takes me back, man. That takes me back.
Yeah, Sakurai, when he looks at the original content, he really tries to stay as faithful to it as much as possible. Even the Street Fighter characters have an option to use their moveset like it was from their original game, as opposed to the easy B forward, B down, B up. And in fact, by doing it, the traditional way, you actually get more damage and a better combo out when you perform those actions.
Yeah. Like it's like again, like I can't imagine what legal not just developmental health, but legal health that he had to go through just to get Sora.
Oh, I've seen
Just
the
to get Sora.
parodies. I've seen the parodies already. They're crazy.
Like, who did he have to sacrifice to get just Sora? Never
Well,
mind Goofy or Donald or any of them. Just that one character. Like that's insane.
well, according to him, I mean, he probably, took the data from I think 2013, 2014 from the Smash Ballad, and He probably had, a hard record of that, and he showed it probably to some Disney executives, and they're like, okay, if you think this will, make some money. I mean, I don't even know how much Sora is going to cost as a single character. Every character outside the challenge pack says $5.99, but I don't even see Sora there as part of as a single character. I still see it says Challenger Pack 11 on the eShop. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
are they planning to like up the price to like $8.99 or higher because it's a Disney property, or they just are lazy and they haven't updated it yet?
Well, here's a question I'll pound to you. How many people do you know personally, or at least and or online, know that Sora is a Disney character?
And they probably won't know off the top of their head. They'll probably automatically assume Square Enix because that's usually the name you
Exactly.
see first when you play the game.
E- Exactly. That's my point. When I told you Sora, I was like, it makes sense because like he's not a Disney character. You told me he is, and I was like, that's impossible because like there's nothing about him visually that looks like a Disney character. Sure, when you go,
Big yellow shoes. He basically is ripping off. He's a Hot Topic Pinocchio. You know, I think he screams Disney.
no, for me, I don't see Disney. Like if you see the shoes, that's like to me the closest one that has big ass shoes is like what maybe Mario, but like his feet aren't that big.
No, they're not. No, I'm just
Me,
saying. Yeah,
but like he moves, his look, his hair, even his hairstyle, his look, he looks more like a Final Fantasy character.
because he was created by a Final Fantasy creator. So
Yeah, but here's another thing. When you first start off that game, the first Kingdom Hearts game, besides the part where like you get asked like these three questions and you have to answer them, you have to like remember that you answer them and whatnot. The island you stay on, you're surrounded by three characters from Final Fantasy.
I think those characters are meant to just be an Easter egg, from the other franchises that this guy was also a part of. Versus, because they don't, after you leave the island, you don't see any of those characters ever again until recoded on the Nintendo DS, or coded if you were a member in Japan and you had the game on phone. That's the only other time you ever see those characters again. And I think Chain of Memories, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, if you remember this, when you played the first Kingdom Hearts, like you meet Tidus. I call him Titus, but officially they call him Tidus.
Titus,
Tidus,
Titus, tomato, tomato.
yeah. Um, what's the woman's? I think her name is Selphie, who
Hmm.
plays the whip, the one who swings the whip, and Waka, who
Hey,
uses the
Lauren, how
map.
you doing? Lauren just commented in the chat here.
Oh, hey, I can't see the chat, so I can only see you.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. But
No, but
if you open a tab for where this stream is going and mute the tab on your browser, you probably could see the chat then.
okay,
Hold on one second.
all right.
All right. You don't hear anything coming from my background, right?
No,
Okay, you're good.
it's like hear like ambient noises, but that's it.
Okay, you hear and okay, that's not that bad. All right, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
it's very low. Like I barely notice it.
Okay.
But like yeah, like so like you meet three of the Final Fantasy characters, and then when you get to I think what is it Old Town I think it's called in the very first one,
Oh,
you meet
Traverse or
yeah
Traverse Town.
Traverse yeah
They call it multiple. They have different pronunciations. I call it Traverse Town. In the game, they call it Traverse Town, but it's Traverse Town. So it's like,
well Traverse Town whatever. But like you meet not just Cloud, but you meet Yuffie the Ninja, and you meet Squall Leonhart. Like
that's
that's two more.
as well as Geppetto, Pinocchio. all
But
in the
here's the
same.
thing. But here's the thing that is the Disney part of the game. I'm talking about the Final Fantasy characters. Like you put them in there, are they Disney products as well, or are they just Easter eggs as well?
No, they're part of the collaboration. I mean, because they play a much more bigger role than Sora's friends on the island. Because the core friends at the end, I remember, spoiler alert, at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, on Destiny Island, you do not see Waka, Titus, or what's her face with the rope.
Selfie?
There you go. At all.
Yeah.
You see everybody else in the whole entire Kingdom Hearts main story, like Sora, Donald, Goofy, Mickey, Riku, Kairi, everybody's on that beach, but not the original three. So I'm thinking those three, they were just an Easter egg. Everybody else was like, more core story members from Square Enix, but they're just part of the collaboration between Disney and Square Enix.
Hmm. Well, I guess I don't know much about the whole process of like who gets to be put in what game based on the rights of like who creates them and whatnot or the company. But I like for me, I was like, as far as I like the one thing again is like when I saw the characters, like when you look at them, they don't look like Disney characters. They don't even look like Pixar characters. They look more like Final Fantasy characters. That's why when I saw the designs, I was like, Sora automatically reminded me as Final Fantasy is Square Enix, not Disney or Pixar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, he's definitely created from a Disney. I mean, a Square Enix, member, but he was still made for Disney. So
I'm
it's
so I find that really odd because like if that's the case, why haven't they? Why hasn't Disney made like a theme park out of it or
I
made
don't.
some type of an attraction for it?
They actually did make. They had a short attraction many years ago. It was very
Oh wow!
brief, where you would have like this is a totally different topic that we might have to save for a different day. But they had like some person in a suit have a keyblade and basically dress up as Sora and do live performances at the Disney World theme parks. But
Oh wow!
it was so brief, and the only other mention of Kingdom Hearts was they released a Mickey Mouse, what is it, Hooded Organization 13 Mickey Mouse pin, and then that was basically it for a long time.
Oh wow! I guess it's to not pay Square Enix for the pro
Exactly.
ride for it.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. That's man. Talk about greedy corporations, right?
Yep. That's what started this whole thing.
Damn. See how far down the rabbit hole we went with that shit?
Yeah, we went really far down the rabbit hole. Now let's pull ourselves back up, and we're gonna wrap this up.
All right. So do you have anything quick that you want to add or whatnot, or like bring up, or
I,
do you have
I
any extra thoughts, extra final thoughts on the expansion pack plus?
Well, like here's the thing. Like I said, the fact that I seen that paid DLC is being included free in Animal Crossing opens the floodgates and the potential that they can open the door for other paid DLC in the future to be available for free. So, I'm hopeful that other games other than Animal Crossing will offer the paid DLC as a perk to being on this overbloated expensive membership.
All right. So let me ask you this, because I've seen this online. Some people have said this. So let me ask you this: do you think you would pay the extra money? And this is just hypothetical. Do you think you would pay extra money if they offered more than just N64 and Sega Genesis games? Like if they added like the Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy, GameCube. I would definitely I would see that being a justified price tag. I'd probably not even be complaining about any of this.
Like even the DS's, even the DS games, like from the first one, the second
Well,
one.
I seen how it worked on the Wii U because it actually worked really well. I do not see it working well for the Nintendo Switch. You would have to like play only in handheld and play with the screen.
Ah, okay, yeah, I completely forgot it was you had to play with dual screens in order to play certain DS games. You're right.
Even certain emulators can't get certain DS games right.
Oh shit, that one. See, I didn't think about that because like I only bought one 2DS back then, and like I only bought it because it was a Super Mario DS, and I want to say it was for what other game was I getting it for? I can't remember because I remember I played the shit out of my 2DS, and like not the one that was like a full like flat screen. It was the one where like you had to open it.
The 2DS
But
XL.
yeah, that one. Yeah, because like I wanted to get the 2DS, but the thing was it was too small. So I got the XL version because it was a lot bigger, and I got the Super Mario game for it, and I played the shit out of that one. Like,
3D Land, I think.
yeah, I think so.
You
It
were
was the
late to
one
the
where,
party, but that's still a good game that holds water.
yeah, because like I remember like I had the stylus, and like what one of the funny things about it was like in order to use a stylus, you had to like I think what was it? You had to like draw a certain thing in order to advance to the next stage, or like you had to blow into the mic in order to make a balloon go fly up or something on a double screen. I was like, that's just this just kind of fun.
Oh wow.
But
All right.
but yeah, like I've said this before. I'll say this again. You it might be a good deal if you're looking for a single player aspect of this game, but if their online infrastructure isn't up to par to play these games, then this system, this subscription, this bleh, excuse me,
It's okay.
this subscription service is nothing more than a cloud-based networking system that's going to hinge on a good wire internet connection, and I don't know if it's going to hold.
It's
I'm
not.
like, if they did something like again, what they did with the PlayStation, it was like we have backwards compatibility. So like if you see an old SNES game, NES game, N64 game, you can download it, boom, play it on your Switch, like virtual console, I guess
Yeah, they
is
did
what you
away with
call
the
it.
virtual console. That was one of the biggest flaws, but this is basically a makeup to that.
Yeah, but like if they brought back the virtual console, you know how much money they would make just on that alone.
I don't think they care about the money. They just, they
But they
try
keep doing
they
these.
they're trying to make it easy by putting all the games out there for everybody, but then also taking away a few and then adding, more stupid games that nobody cares about and at a snail's pace. So it's like they took two steps backwards, no, one step forward and two steps back.
And then they put one step forward and then it's three steps back.
Yeah,
And it's
now
like,
it's, yep.
just so fucking stupid. All right,
Alrighty.
well, yeah. Well, it was good talking to you, man.
It was good
Really.
talking to you too.
Yeah, we should definitely do this another time, man.
I
So,
I totally agree. We'll probably plan it out a little bit better.
yeah, yeah, this is, yeah, like, just by the way, if the people that are watching, we literally planned this like last, like, what, 5 minutes
Yep.
before we even decided to do anything because I saw expansion pack plus announced today. I saw the comments. I saw videos talking about it. And I was like, I gotta reach out to you, bro, because like you're the only Nintendo fan that I know personally that's like huge on this shit. And like I wanted to express it, but like I also wanted to kind of like put myself out there and talk to you in front of everyone. And hopefully, to the people that are watching, I hope that you guys come back and see us again, and we can just have this conversation, and maybe we could have more conversations about other stuff as well.
Yep. I
And
agree.
yeah, that's all I have to really say, really.
Alrighty. Well, on that note, this has been Ruben's Crazy 89 here with Ice Mage 25.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right, it's been my pleasure, man. I'll talk to you soon. And peace out, everybody.
Peace.